Now, don't get me wrong, karma can be a but that is not the angle I am taking in this video. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. On this channel, I make videos all about self-empowerment and self-development on a mental, emotional, and spiritual level. So if you enjoy these type of videos, please feel free to subscribe. Today, I am discussing the law of karma, also known as the law of cause and effect. What is karma? Simply put, karma is the consequence of an action. An action is the cause and the consequence is the effect. It's important to note that behind every action there is energy, and the energy behind that particular action will return to us. An expression that encompasses the law of karma almost perfectly is you reap what you sow. Now, my intention behind this video is to share the power of karma, but not from a negative lens, because often when we hear about karma, it can be within the context of karma's a and it always kind of is a more fearful. It's like this fearful energy behind when people hear the word karma, but it really doesn't have to be, because there are really amazing, powerful elements to karma that if we know how to properly utilize, then we are going to experience all of the amazing positive things that come with understanding and applying the law of karma from a positive place. Now, don't get me wrong, karma can be a but that is not the angle I am taking in this video. A broader way to think about the law of karma is to understand that if we want to experience more happiness, more love, more peace and joy in our lives, we need to take actions that align with all of those positive things, actions that actually carry that energy and those positive intentions, and then we will experience those positive effects, also known as consequences. Karma implies the action of conscious choice making. Some choices that we make are conscious, others are unconscious. Regardless, we always have an infinite amount of choices at our disposal. It may not always appear that way, but the reality is we have an infinite amount of choices at play. To make the most of the law of karma and empower ourselves, we need to have conscious awareness of the choices we make. This means that we have to become aware of any unconscious choices we make. If we are unconscious of them, then we honestly are not really tapping into the full potential of the law of karma. For all we know, we are making unconscious decisions that really don't serve us, that don't serve others, and ultimately they could be causing us more harm than good. Just because we are unaware of certain choices in our lives, so just because we are unconscious of them, does not mean that the law of karma will not apply. The law of karma is 100% in effect, whether we are making conscious choices or unconscious choices. We can think of ourselves as infinite choice makers, and we also have an infinite amount of choices available to us. We need to become aware of any unconscious choices or unconscious actions we are taking, especially if they are no longer serving us, and especially if under the law of karma they are going to cause us to experience consequences that do not benefit us, if they are consequences that are on the negative end of the spectrum. Our past conditioning, without a doubt, impacts the way we show up in the world, what we do, how we react. Regardless, we need to take responsibility over any unconscious choices we are making so that we can empower ourselves and make conscious choices that will actually benefit us, conscious choices that will serve us, and hopefully serve others too along the way. If we don't take time to gain awareness, we are going to be so easily triggered by the external world, and we're not even going to think twice. It's almost like we lose reason. We lose the understanding that we have a choice. We forget to empower ourselves and make a better decision for ourselves. I'll share a quick example. You're driving and someone cuts you off. A very common reaction, and I think a lot of the times unconscious, is to get upset, to honk, to potentially get really enraged and basically kind of lose it. In that moment, however, you have to note that your reaction is essentially fueling that encounter. It is fueling that experience, and you're just feeding into that emotion of anger, of frustration, of negativity. And that energy, according to the law of karma, that was a choice you made, and on some level that will return to you. Now, I say this not to scare anyone. That's not the goal. It's just, once again, to gain awareness that actually you can come from a different place. You don't have to lose it, and you don't have to stoop to someone's level, especially if they are acting so irresponsibly and just so selfishly. And trust me, I understand it's so easy to get upset, but let's remember that we have a choice, and ultimately we don't have to waste our energy on someone who is acting so unaware and so selfishly. The moral of the story here is to make conscious choices that will benefit you and will benefit others. Choices that will bring you happiness, choices that will bring you love and other wonderful things. You can definitely have all of these amazing things and experiences in your life, but you need to make sure to align your actions with positive things, align your actions with positive decisions, positive choices, and release unconscious choices, unconscious actions that no longer serve you. Don't feel trapped, don't feel disempowered. If you're used to doing things a particular way that you know for a fact don't serve you, you're already on your way simply by having awareness. You are on your way to changing things by knowing, hey, this is no longer working for me. This doesn't really serve me in any way. And if anything, this is just going to bring more negativity into my life. This is going to bring more unhappiness. Use the law of karma to its fullest potential. Gain conscious awareness over your choices. Make conscious choices. Release choices that no longer serve you, which tend to be unconscious choices. Also remember to please be compassionate with yourself when breaking down the choices or habits or actions that you know for a fact are not in your best interest. Maybe they're really not the most positive. They might be more on the negative end of the spectrum. But you know what? No one's perfect. Life is a journey. It is a learning process. We are here to learn. We are here to grow and evolve. And this can definitely be a part of that evolution and that journey to grow and become more aware individuals. Making conscious choices is honestly so simple. Ask yourself, what are the consequences of this choice? Next, ask yourself, will this choice bring me happiness? Will this choice bring others happiness? If so, proceed. If not, you may want to reconsider. It's that simple. Your body can also guide you in making the right decision. You can trust your heart, listen to your gut feeling. Overall, listen to your body. When it comes to a particular decision you are contemplating, how do you feel? How does your body respond? Do you feel expansion? Do you feel constricted? Do you feel elated? Do you feel anxiety? There are so many indicators and there's so much guidance that our body can provide. Whether you want to call it your heart, a gut feeling, your gut, there's just something that maybe it's not the easiest thing to explain logically, and that's probably because it honestly has nothing to do with logic. I think it's an element of internal guidance that comes from beyond. It's something outside of us, but it's meant to help us. You can call this whatever you want. I'm not trying to put a specific label, but all I know is that there's a lot of wisdom within our body. And if we tap into this internal guidance, it can be so powerful. And I know so much of the time we don't necessarily think to do this because we're always taught that we need to be logical, we need to be reasonable about decisions. And I'm not saying logic and reason doesn't have its place and it's important, but logic and reason are not always the highest solution or the only solution when it comes to making the best decision. We have options, and our body can definitely guide us in such an amazing way that it's absolutely incredible. So don't forget to consider tapping into your body, tapping into like what you feel. Trust yourself, whether you want to call it your gut, your instinct, your heart, whatever resonates with you. Do that. You will not be led astray. There's just no way, because this is ultimately coming from a higher power, a higher source, whatever you want to call it. It's truly beyond us. If you feel like this is something that has worked for you, being super reasonable and logical, that's beautiful. Keep doing what you're doing. There's so many different ways to approach this. But if you feel like, you know what, I'm always being so logical and reasonable and trying to do the best that I possibly can, but something backfires, something isn't right, I'm not actually living my life in alignment, I'm not making the best choices I could be making, then you need to reconsider and you need to try tapping into, whether it's your heart, your body, trusting your instinct. You need to go back within. You need to trust in your power and trust in the guidance that is available to each and every single one of us. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.